in the camera there. All right, so I really want to welcome you.
Yes.
It has taken us literally 38, 37 years to find the language to share with you what I'm going to share. Okay? When you walk into our office, it says on purpose, the healthiest families in the world come here. And that's what I try to do. That's been our job every day since November 1992. But now we're going to get really serious about it and help explain to you how you can do that as well. It's not just about me, not about just Mrs. Arvay, but what have we learned over the last 38, 37 years that can help you feel stronger? And so this is just seminar one of a series of seminars we'll be doing on pediatric, preconception, perinatal, basically from conception or preconception, because I guess that's a thing now. Again, I'm 60 years old, right? So now it's a big market that, well, I'm 18 years old, but I want to have babies someday, so I'm going to start my preconception training now. I'm like, good for you. Yeah, it's called Be Healthy and Be Strong. But seriously, though, you need to get your act together to get in shape. So we're going to be teaching that because we've had 4 children and we know how to do that too. So this is video. This is the basic video. I keep saying video one, seminar one. In the summertime, we're going to do one on what about ADHD? What about autism? What about anxiety? What about stress of a child? What about behavior issues of a child? Well, this is the basic. Get this down, and all of that won't be so much an issue, or things will begin to change. So you're not missing out if you got a really severe case. I'm going to go into that in a minute. But this is the basics. This is the addition. 2 plus 2 is 4. You got to get that first. 2 plus 2 is not 5. But you've been told 2 plus 2 is 5. So as you start to become parents and you raise children and you get older, when it comes to healthcare, it's a 2 plus 2 equals 5 system out there. And I want to teach you that 2 plus 2 is 4 and how to pull that off. So this is called Why Kids Keep Getting Sick. And I hear you all, my child keeps getting sick over and over and over again. And what am I missing? It's all my fault anyways. I should have sold that pencil in 3rd grade. God is punishing me. And all these things happen to us. So, why kids keep getting sick? And again, am I missing anything? You might be. But it's not your fault. Because out there, they're not going to tell you how to raise a healthy child. That's right. They're going to tell you how to, again, the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God, and He will give you your heart's desires. The flip switch to that is seek the kingdom of man in His ways, and He will give you His desires. Exactly. And that's what we have in healthcare. And it's not working because you don't know how to swim. I'll get to that in just a minute. All right? So, why are most kids getting sick? Because they're weak. Where are they weak at? We're going to cover that. Children are overwhelmed more than ever these days. Their systems aren't working well. Something deeper is being missed. And it's not about doing more or fighting harder. It's about getting your child, getting yourself functioning better. I could even say this. Why grandmas and grandpas keep getting sick and keep getting worse? Why did my teenager keep getting sick and making me crazy? The preference is the same no matter what age you are, okay? Now, this is the reason why we are who we are. This is the reason why we do chiropractic the way we do. This is the reason why I am who I am. My wife and I got pregnant. She got pregnant. I didn't. I can't do that. In 1988. And when you're pregnant, you have dreams for this child. You start picking out names. We never had a gender reveal party because we weren't that cool. That wasn't around back then in 1988. But we had dreams. We had visions for this child. We didn't know what it was. We didn't peek. Okay? But when it came time to have the baby in the hospital, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I wish I knew back then what I know today. I didn't. I didn't know anything. I only knew what I was taught growing up. I only knew what I learned on Marcus Welby MD or Trapper John MD or MASH about health. I trusted what, if I could buy it in the store, if it was bad for me, why would they sell it to me, right? And when you were sick, you went to your doctor and they gave you medicine. If you hurt yourself, you You had stitches, the vaccines. I mean, I grew up with all of that. And then I went to chiropractic school, and I thought, oh, now I'm really smart. And I know that stuff, and we went to church, and now we had all those bases covered, right? So then we have our baby, and they say, well, Mrs. Arvay, you are 2 weeks late. Therefore, you need to have this baby induced. What is that? And my mom's a labor delivery nurse, and she's like, well, okay, yeah. So we had our baby in the hospital because they said so. So my wife and I get there. Phil Donahue was on, which is an old TV show. They were doing about fires of the year. And all of a sudden they come in and say, okay, time for your Pitocin, Mrs. Arvay. Not knowing anything. Just trusting. Hook her up to Pitocin. Didn't know this, but cranked it all the way to 11. Right? That's an old song. Never mind. But really gave her way more than what she needed. Maybe they were in a hurry that day. I don't know. Put a fetal monitor on the baby's head, tack on her head, and away we go. And my wife went through hell. She would literally, every contraction, she would put her head on the bed of the hospital, the metal bars, and just grind her forehead into it and just ride it out because she is tough. She's an aerobics instructor, Olympic level athlete. She was tough. And if it wasn't for that, our daughter may not even be alive today. So she got through the birth. 8 pounds, 10 ounces. Tore my wife every direction, every orifice you could think of, TMI, but she tore. Because they had forced our daughter out of her before it was time. So now we get her home, and we're being parents, and we're doing our best. You know, she's getting adjusted, and she's breastfeeding, and we're living on our trailer down in Atlanta or Marietta, Georgia. And our daughter is being babysat at a health club while my wife is teaching aerobics and I'm at school. They put her in a walker, which we don't do if you're not walking or sitting up. And the gate, imagine these racquetball courts, and you have these stadium stairs you can watch. Again, it was the 80s. And they left the gate open, and she's in a walker, and she goes 2 revolutions down the stairs, if you would, to the floor. They call my wife. We look at her, and what do you do when you see a baby? Oh, you're fine. You'll be okay. And that's all we do. We didn't know anything. And what we did know kind of blocked out what we should have known. Maybe. So, as time goes on, we start noticing as we're feeding her, she just kind of drifts off and has a daydream. Okay, she's having daydreams. Well, as time goes on, 1 year old, 2 years old, doing everything we can, she starts riding her bike, and all of a sudden she starts riding off and run into a wall. What was that all about? Or she'd be running, all of a sudden she'd just stop and just kind of go off, and her eyes, you were there. So come to find out, we have an EEG on our daughter's having petit mal seizures. From the outside, you can't see, but from the inside, she was having hundreds, if not thousands, a day. She's there 1 minute, and she's not there the next. She'd be out playing soccer with Courtney and them, and all of a sudden, there goes Leah walking off the soccer field. Thank God we had another child, our daughter May, who could run after her, grab her hand, and bring her back on the field. And we're the health people. And how dare God give us a daughter that has these petit mal seizures? So what do? I just doubled down and got more self-righteous. All right, we're going to pray this out. We're going to fast. We're going to adjust. We're going to find vitamin. We're just going to get after this. I'd like to tell you that it worked. I'd like to tell you she got better and stopped having seizures. She didn't. Age 12, I'm at a seminar trying to figure out how to help my daughter, and I get a phone call saying that she had a grand mal seizure in the Westminster pool and almost drowned. And I'm like, wait a minute here. This is 12 years now, 10 years of seizures that we know of, and nothing's working. Go to the medical doctor. Well, here's these drugs, and I was so anti-drugs. I was pig-headed and stupid. I'm like, we're not doing drugs. We're real people. We trust Jesus. If I put her on drugs, it shows I don't trust Jesus. That's what we were told. Have faith. Have more faith. Just keep adjusting. Or when you're older, we can take half her brain out, and that will stop the seizures too. I'm like, well, that's not a very good solution. We don't want to kill the seizures and kill our daughter in the process. In the meantime, we're praying. We're looking for answers. We're doing everything. Google running around, YouTube running around. We had to search journals and manuals and books and look for truth and literally travel the country looking for answers, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars out of our own pockets trying to find out what was going on. By age 16, she had already 40 grand mal seizures. And of course, your friends are no help because they go, well, aren't you doing anything? Yeah. Well, my wife was in a Bible school. Well, those chiropractors, they're cultists. Maybe God's just trying to show you that you're in a cult and your daughter's having seizures. All the crap that you get in church about your health and your child, and I call it crap because it's all crap. God's a loving Father. He would not give you a snake if you asked for a bunny rabbit. And I had to learn that. And I had to learn that I could trust Him when we put her on medication. But the first 2 medications weren't working. She's still having seizures. When she'd have a daydream, we'd say, please just come back to us, because we wouldn't know. Because we heard stories. Some people have petite mal and they last all day. She'd come back in a minute. Oh, okay, go back. Sorry. She's having grand mals. We're like, please don't die. One time she has a grand mal right in a shower when she's and we were PTSD. Oh man, we still got PTSD. We hear that shriek, that cry in the shower. We hear that thud. Where's Leah? Run to the shower. She's in there, water. But yeah.
What's a grandma seizure?
It's where you fall to the ground and shake. Good question. Sorry. I assume you all know who Christopher Reeves is, right? Again, I'm 60. I assume you... No, grand mal. So petite mal is where you're just staring off. You might kind of rock and bob in the head. A grand mal is where they just fall to the ground and they're shaking.
And it lasts longer, right?
Sometimes, it all depends.
Oh.
Hers would not last that long.
Huh.
She was the healthiest epileptic you'd ever know, right? Yeah. Never mind. So, one time she fell into a plastic bag garbage can. One time she had one at the North Garden Rec Center, and her school was playing basketball, and I was running here, because when our phone rings, that means she's having a seizure. And I'm running in to get to her, and I see these boys lined up, and I see a boy laughing. And I immediately think that he's laughing because my daughter had her seizure. He wasn't. But I looked at him and I said, "What's so funny?" And he's like, he might have peed himself, I don't know. So I go, and afterwards, I'm like, what did I just do? So I met at the school, and I apologized to the son and his father, and I said, you did nothing wrong, it was me. So that's been our life, and we're supposed to know everything. So finally, I went to a friend of mine, a seminar, and he said, if you don't have a curve in your neck, the brain and body can't heal. And I said, never heard that before. And so we started working on her. And again, I wish I knew what I knew then, I know now. But finally, when she was a teenager, I took her x-ray. And 35 degrees is what normal should be. No stress, green grass strong. And hers was at 15. So literally her spine was stressing her nerve system. She had alar tears, which means when she fell down the stairs when she was less than 1, she tore the ligaments in her upper neck, so her adjustments wouldn't hold. And as her posture went this way, there was the sign. When I took her x-ray at 16 years old, that's the first thing we found that wrong with her. Everybody else had said, can't find anything wrong, keep giving her drugs. Can't find anything wrong, chiropractors, put her on meds. Right? That's all we got. I'm like, that's not the solution. And so we've been there where you've been when it comes to your doctors not giving you the answers you want. We've been there when the naturopaths and the functional medicine doctors don't get the solution you want. When you go to church and you get judged and ridiculed because something must be wrong, you must have all the blah, blah, blah goes. We've been there. And that's why we are. So when I tell you to do something, it's not because I'm just telling you based on book knowledge. I'm telling you based on because it didn't work for us. It's probably not working for you, but here's what's going to work. And so we had to learn how to fix this. And you didn't know how to fix it. So we started doing the chiropractic the way you see when you come in here. When I do the stuff with the babies, that's what helped our daughter get better. When you see me doing stuff with the nutrition, that's how it got our daughter better. When you see me doing the adjustments and you're just doing what we're doing in our family. And as I learned, we applied it. We applied it to my wife because she was so stressed out, her body started making non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and we learned how to turn that around. We helped our daughter May and our son Grant and our son Luke make sure that they don't get that stuff, and now they're better for it. My daughter May goes off to chiropractic school, and guess what her roommate has? Seizures. So when she has a seizure, May's like, can I not escape this? Nope, you're on. And so then she would save her and adjust her. So it's like, this is our thing. So I knew in 2015 that you have a pediatric, this is called the Leah House. Last night I told my wife, this is the Leah House so that mommies and daddies can bring their babies and learn how to get better and get stronger. And so as her spine changed, our daughter started coming back. And as her spine changed, her nerve system started to heal. And that's what you're going to learn. And now she's 37 years old, living all on her own with a cat, being a full accountant, because we learned how to change her nerve system. We learned on how to pray for her. We learned on what to feed her. We learned on what vitamins to give her. We learned on what homeopathics to give her. We learned about essential oils. We learned about toxins and all these things. Red dye 40 and so we don't do it because long before RFK came along, there was JSA. That's me. And we were teaching this stuff because this is what saved our daughter's life. And now I'm going to teach you how so it can save your family's life as well. And here we are. This is Luke's graduation. And this is us. This stuff works. I don't know how many doctors you go to that has 38, 37 years of experience and this works. This is what we've done, and here's the proof. And what worked for us is all we share is what works for you. So of course, all the drinks and all the food there are Dr. Joe approved. I wouldn't feed you crap just because it's crap, and I wouldn't say anything if it wasn't your friend. And so you're not alone, okay? Raise your hand if you know how to swim. Are you a good swimmer? Okay. Can I pick on you, Margie, for a second? So you don't swim, right? No, there's two Margies there. Margie said. Are you concerned with, do you like water? No, you don't like water, right? So if your grandson or granddaughter were in the water saying, help me, Grandma, you'd be in a pickle, wouldn't you?
I jump in there.
You jump in.
It didn't matter if I
You jump in, right?
As I saved my kid.
Exactly. You'd save them. And that's my point. So metaphorically, if I was to tell you another even longer story, just kidding. If you don't learn how to swim, water becomes very scary. Okay? If you don't learn about why your children get sick, then them getting sick becomes very scary. And the people we look to say, hey, help me, my child's sick, they may not know how to swim themselves either. And they may not know how to teach you how to swim so that when your child's in trouble, you don't know what to do. Just jump in there and, here, take this, take that. Go to Walgreens. Start taking everything. Do this, do that shot. Have this surgery. Cut out those tonsils. Put tubes in the ears, right? Just start throwing whatever because I don't want my baby to be sick anymore. And the problem is, statistically, when you start doing that, it's like saying they don't know how to swim either, but just take what they give you because you don't know how to swim either. But if you can learn how to swim, then you can still be scared of water, but it's not a threat. It's not a threat. That's the key word. If your child goes in the water and they have trouble, you jump in, you save them, you pull them out. It doesn't matter if it's the ocean, the lake, right? A pool, a bathtub. You have overcome your knowledge and you know. Now, as parents, I want to teach you how to swim metaphorically. So that you have no fear of fever, you have no fear of snot and boogers. Not saying it has to be fun, no matter how old you are, but you're like, okay, my body's doing the right thing at the right time. And I know what to do on a daily basis to make sure I've done all I can to prevent it from happening. Right? I don't want you just waiting until the symptoms go up and hope that vitamin D is going to save your child. That's not how to fight a fever. There's things to do so you minimize how the fevers come. So, I don't know what actually health is anymore, and it feels so expensive. I keep watching symptoms and hoping it doesn't get worse. We get it. We get it. My kids are, again, the scariest thing about seizures is we didn't know what was triggering them. So we didn't know how to make them go away. We had no control of them, so we were just like, no clue why it was happening. Well, you must have had a demon somewhere. You must have somewhere. We cleaned house all the way back to Adam and all future generations. Trust me. She still kept having seizures. We put her on the meds. She kept having seizures. And And God bless my wife. We're still married after 37 years. Not easy. Not easy, because I wanted to do the exact opposite of what everybody else was telling us to do. And that's not easy. So, there's core 4. Everybody say core 4.
Core 4.
And, again, you have a wonderful handout. Again, I've been waiting 37 years for ChatGPT to show up. So it can make me look really good. But, again, this guide is everything you need. Okay? This guide is not the talk, so don't follow along with it, but everything is in here, right? But the basics are in there. But the core 4 are first your nerve system. And again, I didn't make the rules. We had to figure out how to calm our daughter's nerve system down before anything else was going to work, right? If the nerve system's screaming, it's like, I can't hear what you want. Stop yelling, right? Number 2 is movement. You got to be moving. You got to be pooping. You got to be draining. You can't be stuck. You got to move. Number 3 is sleep. If you're not sleeping, your life's not going to be well. They've got to sleep. You got to be sleeping. Sleep is the number 1 drug. Sleep. Then number 4 is you got to live clean. What does that mean? Read the ingredients. They will tell you that formula is okay. The warning's in the name. Formula. Okay? So if any of these 4 are off, everything in your child, everything in your life, no matter how old you are, is going to struggle. It's not because God's mad at you. It's not because you're taking the wrong medications. Leah's seizures was because, number 1, the nerve system was freaking out. The seizures were normal for the stress that had been placed on her nerve system. The seizures were saying, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. We're like this, we can't figure it out. Finally we did. Because we refused to tap out. We refused to quit. Refused to quit. So these are the 4 reasons why your child may be getting sick all the time, or you may be getting sick all the time. If you're not sleeping, okay, there's a sign. If you're eating crap all the time, there's a sign. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, but your brain's reacting to it. I'm too busy, right, to move. And the nerve system. So, everybody say interference.
Interference.
What's interference? You know when you kink a hose? What happens to the grass? What happens to the green grass if you kink the hose? Turns what color? Turns brown. The interference of the hose made the grass go brown. So when you stress the nerve system, the brain and body can't talk like it's supposed to, right? Like static on a phone line. That's called interference. Things don't work like they're supposed to, and eventually the body will give you a warning. So interference is a disruption in the communication between your brain and body. It's not talking. So the body may overreact, ADHD, hyperactivity, inflammation, fever, or it may underrespond. Just tired, depression, don't want to move, lethargy. But the takeaway is that your child's body is designed to fight, learn, and adapt. That's the nerves. I fight, I learn, I adapt. I fight, learn, I get better. When the brain and body are communicating clearly, healing happens naturally. Your nerve system is what tells the heart to beat. It tells the lungs to breathe. When you cut your arm or your child cuts themselves for the 87th time, it's the nerve system that heals that wound. Not the Tylenol, not the Band-Aid, not the A&D ointment, not the Neosporin. It's that nerve system that knits that back together. It's your nerve system that fearfully, wonderfully made you in Psalm 31 that allowed you to conceive. The first thing at conception you formed was the nerve system. And then it grew all the parts together like it's supposed to. So it's your nerve system that really runs everything. And there's an all-out attack on wanting you to have more faith in man's bottle of pills or shot or surgery than what God put in your nerve system. So the real root cause of a child getting sick all the time, or all sickness and disease, is it starts in the nerve system. Why did I have such a tough day? The devil does not want you to learn this stuff today. Trust me, okay? Because it's bad for his business. But when you learn that the nerve system, the brain-body communication, the nerve system wants you to fight off things, wants you to learn from it, and then return to health. When you're communicating clear, then your body can adapt, heal, and everything goes like it's supposed to. But when there's interference, the child keeps getting sick. Hormones are unbalanced. Emotions are unbalanced. Life is unbalanced. Behavior is unbalanced, right? Well, how many pills do I have to take to get that child to calm down? Not a wrong question. Oh, there's pills you can give them, but eventually the brain's going to learn and adapt, and now when they wear off, it's going to be worse. Okay? I've been wanting to say this talk for 37 years. I'm sorry. But we're going to have fun. So, when you think of your nerve system, think of a guitar string. Right? There's three things. Everybody say 3 T's.
3 T's.
3 T's in this world. And you can't avoid them, parents. You can't avoid them. It's part of life. You need them to make your child stronger. You need them to make yourself resilient. You need them to make your nerve system more resilient so you can grow and adapt and put up with things, right? So the first one is thoughts, stinking thinking. If the devil can get you to give up your identity and think, well, I'm really not who my parents say, I'm really not as good as I think I am, or I'm really not as good as my parents say I am, or I'm really not as good as God says I am. If we can start to doubt that everything's our fault, that stresses out your nervous system. And it remembers, and you start believing you are who they, again, seek first the kingdom of man, and you'll think you are who he says you are. So thoughts, that's why we work on that. Number 2 is trauma. Okay, so if you have a hard time being conceived, and the pregnancy is so stressful because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, and you're not married, and then you get married, and you live in a trailer, and it's in Georgia, and you're away from your parents. Oh, that's our story, sorry. That stress from the mom goes down the umbilical cord to the baby. So your baby comes out smoking 3 packs a day already because of the stress that you put it through. Sipping some whiskey, it's like, hey, let's get this party going here, right? And so trauma can be traumatic. And then toxins. What does our world want to do with the baby as soon as it's born?
Kill it.
It wants, well, before, yeah, it's okay. But it wants to inject it with things. Like God forgot something. Like you need that shot right now because there's no way you're probably going to be a drug IV user and have promiscuous sex. So let's give you a shot now within the first day so that down the road you don't, it's just nutsy. It's a whole nother workshop. You can't inject health. There's poison and there's toxins in there. So, day 1, your child has experienced negative thinking, either from you, to the umbilical cord to the baby, trauma, or toxins. And it makes the guitar string get really tight. The nervous system gets really tight and freaks out. Now the baby's crying, not latching, not feeding, not pooping, because it's tight. It's the nerve system, hyperactive. When the nerve system's too tight, there's trouble sleeping, there's meltdowns, irritability, sensory issues, hyperactivity, can't slow down, frequent fevers, inflammation. But then the child simply, the nervous system gets exhausted. Sympathetic dominance. The vagus nerve is totally stressed out. And that's when they have low energy fatigue, low tone, low muscle tone, low motor tone, all that stuff. Slow to recovery when sick, constipated, sluggish digestion, delayed development, low motivation, disengaged. What causes the nerve system to be hypotone? The stinking thinking, the trauma, or the toxins that they've been given. Medication, shots, surgeries, cappuccinos, food, sugar, all that bombards a nerve system. And so the first 3 steps of having a child that doesn't get sick all the time is they've got to be eating, sleeping, and pooping. Okay? I don't care if you're 5 months, 5 years, 55, 65, 75, you need to be sleeping, eating, and pooping. If you're not, then that leads then to autoimmune, diabetes, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart disease, inflammation. You don't grow out of stuff, you grow into other things. And they give you medications for it. They don't focus on the core 4. They don't focus on here. And so that's why things get out of control. Welcome to America. Are we doing okay so far? Say Yahoo? Okay, good. So, when you look at the nerve system, you got to know that C1 is the boss of everything. Christopher Reeves, when he broke his neck, he broke C1, and that shut everything down from the neck. Paralyzed. Organs not working. Why? Because he hurt that nerve. He hurt that nerve. So you need that nerve. Number 2, C2 axis, C2 nerve is in charge of your communication. So your child's not clumsy and can run and take care of things. The vagus nerve, and again, We've been talking about this for 30-something years. Now it's really cool, right? There's infographics and there's Instagram and stuff like that. But your vagus nerve runs everything. Your ability to feel good about yourself, your ability to heal. When you see a child crying, all of a sudden they go, that's the vagus nerve kicking in for them. When I adjust you and I see you go, I'm like, got the vagus nerve, good stuff. And people they're all about the vagus nerve, but then they say, okay, I'm going to have the doctor put this vagus stimulator in me, like a pacemaker, but for my vagus nerve to stimulate it. No. That's not the way to do that. When you get adjusted, your nerve system resets and your vagus nerve resets. T6, when that nerve is in charge of chopping up and digestion. T7, where's that going to go? The nerves at T12 tell the food where to go, what to do. And S2 is the boot button, right there on the left. Boop. And all of a sudden you guys go running into the bathroom. Yep, working, good adjustment, good job. Right? I'm so good that kids now poop on the way here. Just saying. So step 1, 2, and 3, sleep, eat, and poop. You got to start there. You can't skip this. If you skip this, you bypass, the nerve stays mad, and then you grow into something, not grow out of something. Step 4 is motor control. Now things begin to move. About 4 to 7 months, their immune system starts to develop. They start putting things in their mouth. They start pooping, the digestion, things start happening, they start movement. We don't want them getting stuck because things will back up and they won't drain. So then their ears get yucky, their tonsils get yucky, they don't digest. So we got to get the motor system moving things to step 3, which is in the ENT and lungs and respiration, breathing. Things start to move. Then the gut begins to develop around the same time they get teeth. That's why I say, don't really feed any solid food if you can help it, because they don't have their gut doesn't know what to do with this thing. Okay? And there's exceptions to the rules. All rules have exceptions, but this is just the process. Nerve system first, motor system, then the immune system begins to develop, then the gut begins to develop, then they start to learn to talk. But if they're a slow talker and not learning to talk, then we got to go back to number 1 and say, well, are they sleeping, eating, and pooping? Because that's the hierarchy or the sequence of a healthy child that you don't want to keep getting sick. If they skip any of these steps, the child getting sick all the time is the sign that something got skipped. Okay? And this goes the same thing whether you're 5 months old or 55 or 65 or 75. Then your speech, then your social interaction with people, again, behavior, right? Then your emotional strength. And so all this is a sequence of how your nerve system grows your child, grows you, right? If you're socially awkward, go back to step 1, fix that, and then all these begin to get better. If they're not speaking well, go back to step 1 and then start rebuilding. You can't. Well, my child is a fast developer, and she skipped crawling. Well, that's not okay. We need to get those nerves firing so that they have that mechanism so that she's not socially weird and knows how to behave herself and is not overly emotional. Just saying. So you got to move. If you the milestones, and again, the CDC just pushed back all the milestones. That you can walk when. No, because the problem, they see children not developing right. And again, movement and motor function is key to your immune system draining, right? Like when a child gets teeth, what do? They drain. And if they're not draining because their nervous system is stressed out, their guitar string is too tight, and that backs up into their adenoids, their tonsils, and their ears. But don't worry, your doctor says take them out. And that's just not going to fix the problem. And then the plumbing system has to develop as well. And again, step 5 is prepare to kick the sick. And you got to know, I'm better now, but if you would come to me or your child, oh, I'm sick. Inside my eyes, they would roll. Because you're not sick, you just came in contact with something that your body's trying to get rid of, and you really want that to happen. Every symptom is the body doing the right thing at the right time. So again, according to Dr. Josh Axe, a good friend of mine, I helped train him up as a chiropractor, not all exposures to germs are you're not going to prevent your child from germs. They're there. You need them to have a strong nerve system, immune system. Germs are there. Cough, sneeze, eat, touch. So there's no such thing as being germ-free or virus-free. We need them. Your brain knows what to do to defend them. And fevers are not bad. They're the body kicking the thing's butt that's causing, you need the fever to kill it. So anything you take to suppress the fever, you're just prolonging the sickness. We don't even have a thermometer in our house because it doesn't matter what the temperature is. The body's doing the right thing at the right time. And the last thing is cough is important. You want them to cough. You want them to have rashes. They're getting something out. Anytime we try to treat our children with something, it just drives it deeper back into the body. And then the brain has to heal what's actually wrong, and actually what we use to give it, now it has two things to work on. So, everybody say TH2.
TH2.
Let's say I spit on Diana,
Oh, please.
and I have germs. Let's say I have measles or chickenpox germ. It goes on her, right? Her brain's job, her TH2 part of her immune system, is to tag it and to recognize it and say, tastes like measles, okay? Now, if she has never been in contact with that measles bug, then the brain's like, all right, we got to turn on TH2. We got to kill this thing now. But if her immune system and her brain goes, oh, that's the measles of 64. We got this. You'll never know that measles thing was, because she has lifetime immunity, and she has a memory to where that measles thing never, she gets it once in 64, she gets over it, and never has to have it again, because the brain, the nerve system, the TH2 part of the immune system recognizes it. Okay? That's what. So that's why you should only get chickenpox once. If you get it twice, there is something seriously wrong with your nerve system. Or shingles. You get shingles not because you didn't get the shot, it's because your nerve system is really stressed out. So once you tag it, then TH2 attacks, and that's what fights the infection, creates symptoms like fatigue, fever, congestion. So when you say my child's sick, well, you really should say, Dr. Joe, my child's TH1 is attacking something right now. I really don't like this attack. I really don't like how they're feeling, but I know that when this is done, they'll be stronger and be healthier. So thank you for holding my hand through this process. Please give this child adjustment to strengthen the nerve system so that their TH2 and TH1 can work better, and I can get on to work as soon as possible. But no one ever says that. But that's what I think. That's what you really want to say. And when your nerve system is balanced, so is your TH2 and 1, and they're ready to go. They're ready to go. So the missing link as far as children being sick is the nerve system. It's the harmonizer of the immune system. You need it for draining and plumbing. You need it for balance and everything. And when your nerve system is supported, the immune system thrives. Because not everybody, some people can do whatever and they don't get sick. Some people, again, I was in a daycare, all those kids sneezed on me, I must be sick. No, your immune system is stressed out because you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not pooping. That's why you catch everything, and your immune system has to deal with it because it wants to reset itself. And again, I want to tell you a story about Toby because, again, how powerful is this nerve system stuff? When you look at cancer in a child, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, God didn't make that child that way. Somehow a thought or a toxin or a trauma happened to the nerve system, and that child's body grew it for whatever reason. Now, thank God they found it. Thank God the medical model took care of it, and they did what they could. But that child with cancer, I don't treat cancer, but I'm like, I want that child to make sure their guitar string is in tune. And there's no stress on their nerve system so that whatever they go through, they'll get through it, they'll get over it, and get on with life. Just like measles, chickenpox, a bad relationship, you get through it, and you get on with life. And you're better for it. That's what your nerve system does. So Toby was a patient of ours, but then all of a sudden had some strange symptoms. The mom took him in, and they found out he has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. What did I do? Nothing. Still needs to be clear. Still need to clear the nerve system. Because I know your life will be so much better if we keep your nerve system in tune. You'll fight better. Your immune system will fight better. And you need that if your body's expressing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for whatever reasons. So I'd go to the hospital. Uncle Joe, Pastor Joe, right? Show up. Oh, hi, Toby. How's it going? See you next time. And I would go and I'd go and I'd go. Okay? And all of a sudden, his numbers kept getting better and better and better. They couldn't explain it. They didn't know why. Get better and better and better. And now then Toby got released, cancer-free, and now he's living a strong, amazing life. And my little role to play was just keeping his nervous system strong and free of stress so that he could win the battles of his life. That's how powerful this is. My job with my daughter, keep her nervous system calm so her brain can calm down and win the battle over seizures. That's my job. That's my lane. That's where we stay. But the whole world doesn't tell you to think about the nervous system. They tell you I'm a quack. I'm a occultist. I don't know what I'm doing. You're right. I may not know what I'm doing when it comes to differential diagnosing medical conditions, but I sure know how to balance a nervous system. I do that very well. I do that very well. And so you have your handout here. This is your go-to sheet, okay? If you start to wrap this up, this is your go-to sheet. This is what you put on your refrigerator and you do every day. Every day. You want your child to stop being sick? Do this every day. You want yourself to stop being sick? Do this every day. You want to prevent heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and dementia the best you can? Do this every day. Well, what is this, Dr. Joe? Well, there's the core 4, core 5. First of all, weekly adjustments to have a strong nerve supply. You live in a world that would love to stress out your nerve system. Facebook, social media, YouTube, TV, right? The food you buy in grocery stores isn't food, it's formula. All that stresses, what does that affect? It's your nerve system. Everything you think, eat, and do is a message to your brain. Either freak out or calm down. But we live in a world out there that's freak, 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 freak. 2 + 2 is 5. Freak out, freak. And we're like, oh, here, take this. That's where it's at. Road rage, right? So I don't say weekly adjustments because you have enough. You need another thing to do. But if you do this one thing a week, that's going to save you so many other trips to the doctors and things down the road. So you do this one thing. The next thing is good attitude. It matters. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am strong. My body knows what to do. I am not sick. I'm expressing symptoms. They may not be fun, but I'll get through this. My body is fearfully and wonderfully made. I got adjusted. My parents love me. I'll be okay. It's all about attitude. I really thought about positive thinking or good mood or even sleep. No, attitude. Any child can choose their attitude. They can choose to be cross with their mom and then go to their room because they didn't talk to my wife that way. And when your attitude's better, you can come back. This attitude, I don't allow this attitude around me, sorry. When you want to change it, you come back. Attitude's everything. You adults, you come in here, take that attitude out there, come back in. Okay? Number 3 is children, you need to play. Adults, you need to move. You need to walk. You need to exercise. Movement is life. They need to play. Get off the tablet. Get off the phone. Get off the computer. Throw them away. Throw away the TV if I had my way. Move. Go outside and play. Then now you see all these books, all these parents. We took away their digital electronics and now we cured ADHD. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. I had a friend one time say, what if I went to my grandfather and said, Grandfather, I just don't feel like going outside and working today. What would grandfather do? I don't care how you feel. Get your shoes on or you're going to do, you know what I'm saying? It's some old school stuff. Eileen and I have already decided we're going to be grandma and grandpa grit. You know? Come pull weeds. Give me those tablets. And the last thing is eat clean. And how do I eat clean? Read the ingredients. Read the ingredients. It's right there. It'll tell you whether it's food or formula. Made by man or made by God. If you can't say it, you can't spell it, you can't pronounce it, then it's not food. It doesn't belong in your body. Unless you want to feel bad or be sick all the time or have a crazy child, it's just going... Because their brain's just reacting to what we put in it. Input, output, input, output. So that's the core 4. We always go back to this. we always go back to this. Now, what can I do every day? Well, you can give your child multivitamins, like Max Living Kids multivitamins. You can do the grass-fed beef liver. Why? Because that feeds the body what it needs to be strong immune system. It's nourishment. We don't give our children vitamins to treat them. We take vitamins to feed our body what it needs to be green grass strong. No interference. We also do the vitamin D3, and we do the omega fish oil. Yes?
What's the importance of beef liver? Is this because, like, we give our dog beef liver? So I was like, I didn't know he was eating, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no.
I just want to ask about that.
Good question. So back in the ancient days when I was 5, I'm kidding, the Indians and the people, ancestors would just eat the organ meats, not the steak, from an animal. If they had issues, they'd eat whatever organ for medicinal purposes. So when you eat the liver, it has a multivitamin effect on the body, and they're not getting it anywhere. And a lot of people don't like eating liver, so we have them take them in the capsule form. So the organs are really, and again, now the whole world, oh, it's good. Yeah, welcome, right? You're 30 years behind schedule. But that's why we do the grass-fed beef liver in the capsules. Now, we have some families that have found that they eat it in the gummies, and it tastes better, it goes down better. Do you guys have that yet? I know Courtney and them have it, but they eat it. But you just want to get the organs, you know? Like myself this morning. I made myself a shake with the protein powder. I have cut up elk heart and elk liver in little cubes, unthawed, take it right down. Way to go. That's good. Because, again, I want to practice what I preach. Again, I'm 60 years old. I don't have any grandkids yet. So to me, 70 is the new 40. And I got to train for that. So if you're like, well, I don't want to take, fine. Focus on these 4 here. Get adjusted weekly, have a good attitude, move and play, and eat clean. And that is enough to help your child stop being sick all the time. But if you want to take things, then get a multivitamin, get the D3 in them, and get the fish oils in them. Right? Now, what about ear infections, Dr. Joe? Well, yeah, now your child has an ear infection. So what do? You just tell them to suck it up, kid. No, that's what I do. But you are much more kinder and loving and nurturing as parents. So you can use essential oils like lavender, right? Put it on a Q-tip and put it in the ear to soothe things. You can give them homeopathic remedies like our VI and our Gold. The VI is for, I'll get into it in a minute, but that's for when you have viruses, and Gold is for bacteria. You want to boost the immune system so that the ear infection passes as soon as possible. Even the American Pediatric Association says you got to wait 2 weeks before you even think about medication, antibiotics, or tubes. But no one does that. Bad for business. Okay?
Right.
Warm garlic ear oil in the ear, a warm bath, a steam shower, or with essential oils, eucalyptus, stuff like that. You just keep them calm. Most children, look at their countenance. If they're okay, yeah, it stinks, but if they're okay, then they're okay. Whenever your child's like, they're not themselves, something's not right, that's when you would maybe go to the ER or something like that, when they're not themselves. A lot of our kids, we just cuddle up and watch Little Mermaid, and they were fine. Again, my oldest is 37, my youngest is 25. So, Little Mermaid. What else would we watch? Slapping the Stinkers. I don't know. Dr. Joe, my child has a fever. Yeah, okay. So lavender, peppermint, Young Living Thieves, right? Rub it on their feet. We don't want to break the fever. We want to support the body and say, go fight. You can do this. Here's some chicken soup, right? You support what the body's doing. It's doing it for a reason. Okay? The VI, the Gold, warm baths, essential oils. I can't tell you the times Leah's in the shower and she's breathing in the steam, you know? One time I almost dropped her. Seriously, she was all soapy. I'm like, okay, come on, you can do this, right? And what do? You're not doing anything. Oh, no, I am. I'm letting her body fight off. We've done the top 4. We've done these 2. Her body has to do this to get stronger and become resilient. So now we're just going along. I know how to swim. It's not scary. I don't like it, but I know how to swim. They're going to be okay. Congestion, sinus issues, you can do frankincense, tea tree oil, eucalyptus, thieves, right? Warm baths, steam showers, and get them just breathing that stuff in, okay? Sore throat, gargle with salt water, warm salt water, peppermint or lemon tea with local raw honey. Colloidal silver, if you have it. Colloidal silver is good for the throat squirt. Put it in the eye for pink eye. We used to use Johnson's baby shampoo. I know, I'm old. because the non-tear formula would have like a little cleaning effect on the eyes, and that would help. That's what I learned in 1989. One of the first things I learned about being a parent. But you can use little silver drops, and I don't know what kind you use and where, vitamin college's got it and stuff. And then any natural antimicrobials. Like if we go to a weird country, which we don't do so much anymore, but I tell my people to take oil of oregano capsules. That has an antifungal, antiparasitic, antibacterial effect on gut stuff. And that's always good. The colloidal silver spray, the VIVI in gold, the Young Living Thieves. Again, that's really been our go-to, is the VIVI in the gold. Okay? And so this is your sheet. Is that all there is? This is all we've raised 37 years. This works. And it's simple, and it's on one page. And it's not going to break your bank. Your health insurance may not cover it. Sorry. But this is what you know that you know that you know. So you say, as a parent, I know how to swim now. I know what to do. And we have that for you. So again, we have what's called the bug out bag. You've seen this before. It's the VIVI, it's the gold. VIVI is for virus, gold's for bacteria, thieves is just for whatever ails you. D3, we have it in drops if it's young, or we have it in capsules, and beef liver if you want to take it. Today the bundle is 10% off. The thieves basically is for viruses. I'll skip this. And again, I won't skip this. Back in 1918, when the flu influenza, the Spanish flu hit the world, they were doing everything they could to medicate it. Now, before 1918, Bayer had invented this pill called aspirin, and the doctors were prescribing it with handfuls at a time. So if you went to the doctor in 1915 and they said, here's some aspirin, how many take? Oh, just take a handful at a time, 3 or 4 times a day, right? What was that doing to the nerve system, the immune system? Ah! And now you have a world epidemic called the Spanish flu. When people would go to the medical doctor, they had a 1 in 15 chance of surviving. When they would go to their chiropractor, they had a 1 in 300% chance of surviving. And that's what helped chiropractic begin to really get licensure back in the early 1900s, because people weren't dying when they were getting adjusted. Why? Because they're activating their TH1 and TH2. It's all there. So the VIVI helps support and again, don't skip adjustments, play, good attitude, and clean eating and think that VIVI is going to save the day. We do that though, we're Americans. Then you have gold, again, immune system support, so that we can boost it up. You don't take this on a regular basis. You only take this when you start to feel yucky. You only do the VIVI and the gold when you feel yucky. Okay? The thieves, lick a day. Put it on your hand, or if it's your bottle, lick it yourself. Right? We all do that. Okay? Mr. Arvay hates it. But again, it's got a combination of things that help boost your immune system and help you fight back. And again, vitamin D could reduce the risk of influenza, COVID-19 infections, and death. So was I worried when COVID-19 hit? No. If I had given in 1 ounce to what they were telling you, then everything I've been saying for 30 years is a lie. What I did was good for people in 1918 during the Spanish flu, and what I did for you during the 2019 is the same thing. And our patients did just fine. So D3, it's 5,000 IUs. You can take 1 or 2 for maintenance. You can take up to 3 or 4 at a time, twice a day. You can't overtake vitamin D3. And it boosts your natural immunity, and it really works well. And again, when you're expressing mild or acute symptoms, take 3 capsules once or twice a day. Okay? Beef liver. Again, why the benefits of beef liver? See, I was all with you, Michael. I'm coming here. It helps overall health, detoxification, methylation. Ooh, if you read all your Gary Brackett stuff, I have a methylation problem. I have a genetic methylation. No, just take your beef liver. You'll be okay. And get your nerve system. When your nerve system's healthy, your genetic issues shut off. When your nerve system's stressed out, your genetic issues turn on. That's why. Hormone issues, energy, and iron and anemia support. And again, you take 2 or 4 a day, okay? It all depends on where you're at. So that's the bug out bag. Normally it's $168.11. Today it's $151.29. You can see Jesse afterwards. So again, as I wrap this up, this is it, y'all. This is it. This is what healed our daughter besides Jesus. This is what makes our family. This is what I do. This is what I will preach. Dr. Joe, you always say the same thing. I know, because that's where we're at. So when you want to build a healthy child, stop them from getting sick, you want to build a healthy life, you want to rebuild everything, you got to start with your nervous system first. That's the base foundation. Then you work on your coordination, your motor system, your movement, the reflexes. Then worry about if you're dairy-free, gut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, allergic to this thing. Because you're allergic because your nervous system is stressed out. Then look at your hormones. Infertility, teenagers, menstrual, bleeding too long, all this stuff. I know baby, but it's hormones. And then mental, emotional, PT, OT, all that stuff. I get it. Keep going. But we're going to take care of this. This is what I do. I don't do what they do. These are, if your nervous system is stressed out, your guitar string's too tight, then these are just compensations. This is the oil light. This is the warning. This is not the problem. And we're paying good money to treat the warning when we got to go back to here. And a lot of you in this room have been doing this for years. You're doing a great job. You really are. Give yourself a hand for being here. Yay. Okay? And so, kick the sick. Sequence matters most. Build the foundation first. Nerve system, attitude, real food, and movement. Focus on that. Put your money down on that. Double down on your time. Never be too busy for adjustments, attitude, real food, and movement. Okay? Sharpen your saw. Cut more wood. But this is what we do. Dr. Joe, when you go on vacation, I get adjusted. My attitude's good. I eat real food and I move. I know where the Whole Foods is. I know where the gym is. Why? Because that's my core 4. You don't want me coming back on a Monday not doing this, because then I'll be sick and moody and yucky. I don't want, so this is no matter where I am. And then your vitamins, your sunlight, your rest, your whole food nutrients, support. Then fever, cough, rest, natural support. But number 3 never goes to number 1. And say, I can't understand why I get sick, or why this happens, or why I have this headache, or, well, did you sleep last night? Did you have your attitude kind of stinky? You going to get adjusted? And again, this is Ryan. Ryan got referred to us by a patient, and he was sick all the time, in and out of hospitals, horrible skin and psoriasis, coughing up, on inhalers, doctor visits all the time. Mom was worried about, I don't think I can fit in the adjustments. We're going to every doctor in the world. Started adjusting him. Started balancing his nerve system. That's all we do. Turn on that God-healing power. And now the pediatrician's calling Ryan's mom saying, we haven't seen you in 2 years. Is everything okay? Where you been? She's like, he's not sick anymore. When he gets sick, we'll call you. But right now, we're good. So that's how amazing your body is. That's how amazing God made your body and made you. And so, really, folks, this is it. This is the secret of the sauce. And if this isn't working, then okay, go to the ER. Fine. But never stop doing this. You don't stop doing this ever. No matter who's president, no matter what wars are going on, no matter what's in your bank account, no matter what. This is what we do to raise healthy children, healthy adults, healthy people. I'll never quit getting adjusted because it works. It's like saying, quit charging your cell phone. Okay. How's that going to go? Right? Or, quit checking the oil in your car when the oil light comes on. It's not going to go well. I'm just too busy to put oil in the engine. Okay. Your prerogative, your choice, but this is where it's at. So, as I wrap this up, what are your action steps? Keep learning. Keep asking questions. Keep texting me. Keep asking your friends. Don't refuse. Again, they tried to steal our hope. They tried to steal they never gave us the good answers we were looking for. And they wanted us just to put her on medications and take half her brain out. God bless them, because that's all they know. But we knew better. We just didn't know the answer until we took the x-ray of her neck and did the scans and learned how to change chiropractic, right? And so never give up, never tap out, never quit. You guys are ferocious when you come to your kids, but you have to have the right map. Now you have the right map. Now you have a really cool handout. And that's good enough, because we have stood the test of time because of it, right? We've been to 2 Olympics taking care of Olympic athletes. Why? Because of the top 4 here. And the Olympic athletes they got a good attitude. They were playing, working out, they were eating clean, but they weren't getting adjustments. And as soon as they started getting adjustments, they started winning gold medals. That's the missing link. So keep asking questions. Feel the right people. Stay in the right groups. Follow the plan. We just talked about that. You have the plan now. Get your child checked. Okay? And again, if you're like, well, I'm not getting weekly adjustments. My child never has gotten weekly adjustments. Then what do? You come in and get a neurospinal exam. What Leah had was neurospinal subluxations. Nerves, spinal, because of the spine getting damaged, subluxations, interference. And that was basically a kink in the hose, and she went from green grass strong to brown grass and started trajecting the wrong way. We took the interference off, finally found it, and got her trajecting the right way, and now she has a strong life, and so do our children. So, we do an examination, it's $41, we do a neurospinal exam, we'll get x-rays if they're old enough, or we do a thermography scan if they're young or pregnant or babies. And then we have a plan. What's it going to take to get my nerve system calmed down and fixed, like we're doing with little Galea there, right? She's doing great. And so, you have a card. You should have all gotten a card if you haven't gotten taco meat on it, okay? But if anyone in your house, right? I mean, Lindsay's, she's a boss. All her kids come get adjusted. They're doing great. They're going through storms. They're fun. I'm not here to change their personality. I love them. We might want to calm that nerve system a little bit. And they're not the same kids they used to be. They are doing better, right? So, but this is the lifeline. So if your children are not checked yet, let's get them checked. It's really simple. If your husband hasn't been checked yet, good luck, because men are hard. But get yourself checked. Get those core 4 going. That's what saved our life. That's why I'm still doing this after 37 years. But you just fill it out. This appointment's for myself, for my child. Give us your name, give us your information. If you have a friend like, oh, I wish this person was here, give it to them. Next week, is it next week, Jesse, or following week? Look on the calendar. You'll see Friends and Family Week. It's the following week. Bring all your friends in. Give them this card to fill out. Make them an appointment. It's $41.